This was a phenomenal episode. The gruesomeness was on point. It really portrayed the threat of the situation, showing the character's selfishness and trying to save their own asses, disregarding everyone else, and just overall in the end Jin Woo having to take on all the suffering for himself and having been given another chance in life. The stage is finally set and Jin Woo is on the horizon. By the way, this video will most likely have to be blurred due to copyright issues, so the unblurred normal version will be up on my Patreon. It's available for free, so go check that out if you're interested. Jin Woo and the others have to find a way to survive this massacre in the Statue of Liberty's dungeon. Turns out those commandments written on the wall are the only method they have to survive. Interesting in how they all work in different ways. Rule 1 of worshipping the god was having to bow down to the statue. With rule 2, you have to get in the distance of the statues holding the instruments, and when they play a tune, that gets the statue to stop moving. And speaking of rule 2, that shit was crazy. The one guy was praying to the statue, meanwhile the fucking rumbling's happening, until you get underneath the music statues. There were like 2 AOT references in this episode, the rumbling obviously, but the way the statue smiles really reminds you of Titans and how some of them smile. The resemblance is crazy. Rule 3 is pretty much offering a sacrifice. For a second it looked like everyone had to form around the blue flames waiting for the guardian statues to attack, but as it states, only one person has to be left behind while everyone else leaves. That last rule really bring out the selfishness in everyone. What's crazier is that it's especially the ones who voted to advance further, more than the ones who disagreed. Really showed how hypocritical they could be, especially that one old man that blamed the leader for making them go. This is the same man who was getting excited about checking it out, even though they all equally share the blame for going in. Anyways, like him or not, you really gotta put respect on Jin Woo's name. This man suffered the most out of everyone in this dungeon, yes, even more than the ones who got killed. Yet he still stood on business and was leading everyone through that situation. Despite being the weakest, he was the wisest. In my opinion, that makes him stronger than everyone else. Also, I wasn't originally gonna bring this up, but I have to. Once again, we have another dumbass who thinks they are all that. Thought he was him. In reality, he wasn't. The one bro who thought he was super fast so he could escape in no time, 1000% deserved the laser beam. Looks like Bozo wasn't fast enough, fell speed. Let's be honest though, the only ones who truly deserved to survive were Jin Woo and Juhi obviously, as well as the leader. Despite him kind of dragging everyone into it, he was the least selfish and was ready to stand on business, so he wasn't so bad. This was a pretty minor detail compared to everything else in this episode, but it's interesting how your body has a limit to how much magic you could use, as shown with Juhi bleeding out when she tried to heal Jin Woo's leg, also with how her legs gave out later on when she tried to escape, which I think opens the possibility of not being able to be too OP. You can't just use immense magic power for several monsters or bosses and other shit like emitting massive amounts of mana, because it all depends on how much your body could handle. So I wonder how it'll turn out for Jin Woo when he becomes Jin Woo, which is pretty much on the horizon. I also liked how they gave Jin Woo's sister some screen time. We got to see his mom, which her condition makes her look more like she's on her deathbed about to die at any moment. Also, oh my god, I just came to this realization. This is literally Ari Fureta, but better. Both MCs are weak as hell from the start, suffer in a dungeon, and become OP and a different person from how they once were. That's actually pretty crazy. Anyways, phenomenal episode. I really loved Jin Woo's development. The thing at the end was intriguing with the secret questing being completed and him being qualified to become a quote-unquote player. This world really is just an MMORPG. Super excited to see where that goes and how he levels up and gets to the point that makes him so iconic. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments.